This is a horror game podcast. It is meant for mature audiences. It may contain adult language, violence, and sexual themes, as well as shocking revelations. Viewer discretion is advised. Greetings, fellow investigators, and welcome back to our video podcast, Into the Darkness, where my friends and I are playing the Call of Cthulhu role-playing game. I'm your host, Thom Raley. The campaign is The Order of the Stone. It was written by Jared Twing, Lynn Hardy, and Paul Fricker. It's available from Chaosium. Our keeper of arcane lore is Keith Craig, and this is episode 3. Our recap will be given by David Gasaway as the Great Hunter Manfred Carey. So without any further delays, let's continue our journey into the darkness. David?
Thank you, Tom. I'm half of a mind to scuttle this damn ship, although that may no longer be necessary. We've lost the harbor's pride, and we've lost the foggy bottom, although that crew at least was saved for a time. There are things inside and out of this champagne, and I don't know that she can limp back to New York, or if she should. Most of the passengers are dead, some 800 souls, mostly killed by one another. As for us, JJ isn't accustomed to violence, and he's been on both sides of it. He's lucky to be alive, maybe. Miss Holliday has had some shocks herself. We were following a bleeding madman who had been collecting body parts as souvenirs when I damn near shot a young woman who was hiding in the dining room, who we would come to learn was one Miss Michelle O'Shaughnessy, a witch from Ireland. Her secret society, the Order of the Stone, has been charged over generations with maintaining certain ancient sites around Auchtercrega. This coven, or what have you, were the ones who sabotaged the Irish archaeological team. The Miskatonic team, however, was successful, locating an ancient monolith and the urns buried near it. Her fellows in the coven, or whatever, Jimmy, Michael, Michelle, and Sam, are all dead, attacked by the people we were sent here to rescue. According to the Scroll of Zybon, piece of paper that appears to be the Order's last shred of knowledge, a thing called Achram Tolan Sath was in previous generations subdued and contained, tripartite, in 3 urns that the doctor and team brought aboard. 4 days ago, people on this ship started attacking and killing one another. We think we know where the remnants of the Miskatonic team, hopefully with the evil urns, are, but we may not get to them. There was a terrible rending of metal when the ship attempted to power forward. It was followed by an explosion below decks. So, the scuttling of the SS Champagne may have already begun.
All right, excellent. Oh, yeah. So after you heard that explosion come across the intercom system, you kind of feel a little bit. The lights start flickering as some of the generators are no longer functioning at all. And Michelle, she's getting a little nervous, understandably so. And what do you want to do?
JJ,
Well-
don't touch it. Don't scratch. Leave it alone.
Quite painful.
Just try to focus on something else. All right? If you pick at it, it's not going to heal. Right. Okay?
It seems like we need to find whatever those containers were, and
Now we found the missing pig of the manifest. We know where the rooms were that the Miskatonic group were in. And we haven't been anywhere near them on the ship, so that's probably where they made whatever mistake they made. But do we, at least Blackman, you and I should go down to the engine room and see if the Foggy Bottom boys need any help, assuming that they're alive?
Well, we can phone ahead if the intercom is still working. I'll push the button and try to engine room, come in engine room.
So takes a second, and then you hear a voice come across. We're a little busy down here. What do you need? We can't give you any power. We think the propeller shaft was bent and it jammed when it started to turn.
God damn it. Would it be of any help for us to come down, or do you have the situation under control? Are there any injuries?
Yeah, we got one of us is dead. And we're feeling that we got a little bit of a leak in it. Doesn't seem too bad. It'd be probably several days before the ship would sink through that. So I'm not too concerned about that. What we really could use is get someone out here to tow us, because we're not going to be able to steer this thing in, and I don't really feel like being adrift, and hope that we land someplace that we can get off.
I'm going to take my finger off the thing so I'm not transmitting and say to the group, from what we've seen here, I don't know if it's a good idea for us to go back to harbor.
I'm thinking that if we can manage, if Michelle can tell us what to do and we can re-imprison that thing, then even if we can't fix the engine, somebody will come to rescue us.
Yeah. Well, the host told us that until the storm is over, they can't send anyone down anyway. So we have, and we don't know if the storm is entirely natural or part of what that wave and that shape in the sea was. So if they don't need us down there to pump or bandage, then maybe we should make our way and see if we can get the caps back on this thing.
Where is Michelle at this point?
She's on the bridge with us.
Yep, she's with you. Mm-hmm.
Michelle, is there a way to drive this thing out or drive it away or put it back?
It's like, all I know is these wards that we can that it can't cross. If we could get it into like some container and ward that, it'd be trapped. I mean, these are the same wards that were on those pottery urns.
Could we build like a wall of wards that we keep getting smaller and smaller? And
perhaps we could contain it in one of the hallways, or when we first encountered it, it was in one of the hallways, I believe, where the archaeologists were staying. Maybe we could lure it back in there.
Are you volunteering to be Agron bait, Goldie?
I'd rather not. I'd rather we find some type of chum, but...
Well, we don't need to bait it. We need to herd it. If we can push it with the wards into one thing.
I've copied a few of them out already as best I can. It's a little uncanny when you do it. They sort of squiggle into your pen.
Really?
Yeah. But if we have several, it's right. Maybe we can push it into a smaller and smaller area. Don't touch.
I'm not touching. It's just, I don't want to take drugs to dull the pain, because I won't be any use to you.
It might be more use with a little bit of morphine in you than without.
Well, I'll tell you when I need it.
Fair enough.
Yeah, and don't hesitate. Don't hesitate, JJ, if you need it.
So
it's better to do it now than it is when we're in the midst of things,
Do we have any sense of what this thing might be attracted to, if anything? Michelle, do you have any awareness of what might attract this creature, so that we have a sense of where it's at? Because right now we don't know. It ran off, right?
Yeah,
Or
I know.
slithered off or whatever it does.
I mean, it seemed to be feeding on people, so
Mhm. Mm.
people.
Something's
Perhaps,
sucking the blood out of people.
yeah, or
Yeah.
it's fluids.
And
So go ahead.
do we think the madness of the people on board is related to Agron, or was that some sort of coincidence, or was it caused by the archaeologists? I mean, does Agron make people? I mean, I feel like I'm going crazy just seeing it, but I'm not going to
Yeah,
kill people.
yeah.
Madness gets into your mind, maybe.
Keith, were the bodies that we discovered, Manfred and I, were they also desiccated, or were they
Some,
just sort of chopped up? Okay.
both. Some were
Something
just chopped up, some were desiccated, some were chopped up, and then maybe a limb or two was desiccated.
Hmm.
I don't feel like that Cade fellow had a habit of collecting limbs before he got on board the Champagne. I think that, and Miss Shaughnessy said that it started all at once 4 days ago. So I think that our friends from Miskatonic broke the seals and the thing got out, and it
But
might
they
be
don't
getting
have.
stronger as it feeds on people because the thing we saw outside nearly swamped this rather substantial vessel.
Hmm.
What profession is Carrie listed under in the manifest? Does it say in there?
Oh, Cade?
Arcade, excuse me.
Oh, okay, yeah. It's like Harry.
A
It does. He was a banker.
banker, yeah.
Hmm.
So I highly doubt he was a purveyor of human limbs
But
Now,
at the time.
the thing is pure evil, and bankers aren't far from that.
I was going to say maybe not literally collecting limbs, but metaphorically.
Yes.
yeah, if it was a question of whether it was a vampire beforehand or not, then it'd be.
Okay, a little bit more murky there.
Mm.
Well, gentlemen, I have an idea. It's quite grotesque, but we may need to follow Cade's lead here if we're going to try to trap this creature and start collecting some limbs.
Well, I mean, if that's what you think is best,
And the vessel is full of the remnants of 800 passengers. I don't think any particular pile of shins is going to be more enticing than the rest of it. I think we need to go and find the Miskatonic boys and see if they can tell us what they did wrong.
I don't know if we're going to find them alive.
I
Because I
imagine we'll
believe
find.
that was the first wing that we went to, right? Was their presumed location was Alpha, and that was where the creature was.
Hmm.
Yeah, if it jumped out of the jars and they opened them, it probably would have gotten them first.
Michelle, why were there 3 jars and not just 1 jar? Are there 3 of these things?
She kind of looks down at her scroll that she has. She's like going, it says it just they divided it up into three urns. I don't know why they would have done that, but maybe to, but that's all the scroll talks about.
Yeah, it's weaker. It couldn't be contained in one piece. They probably were 3 urns at some distance from each other. They might not even have had to open them. They might have just been too close to each other, given that this thing seems to be.
So this thing isn't an animal. You
No.
can't just chop an animal in 3 and have it continue to live. It's some sort of demon or monster.
It's something that the Order of the Stone's ancestors summoned, right, Ms. O'Shaughnessy?
That's what the scroll says that
Yeah.
they summoned it on accident and th- they in a desperate and so a way to stop it from just destroying all their homes and families. They
But you don't know how they did it. how they drove it back, how they imprisoned it.
Like,
We'll need to figure that out.
yeah, I've got this spell here in the scroll, which,
Will be very
till
helpful to us, and we're going to have to figure out if they were able to get these urns open, there has to be some way to close them. And I would imagine that the archaeologists, if we can get back to perhaps their lodging, or perhaps it's in the cargo hold, but I would imagine that there's some other type of scroll or something that someone found to open up these urns in the first
Or
place.
they just popped the top off.
It could have been that
see what's
simple.
inside.
I would imagine your
urns that had
ancestors were maybe a bit more careful than that, but perhaps not.
Were they even, Ms. O'Shaughnessy, again, do you know if they were open-ended clay objects, or were they sealed?
from what I saw, they had like a lid, but it looked like it was sealed. But the scroll was written in 1250, so after 600 some years, I imagine.
But you saw the urns before they were stolen?
Well, when they at the dig site, they found them there, and we were trying
how
to.
big are they? I mean, what do they look like? What color are they?
Well, you would take about two hands to hold them, but they're not bigger than your torso. And but
We have to find them. There might be writing all over the outside of them that keeps in which case we could just find a tank and write that on it and get the thing trapped inside, sink it to the bottom of the ocean so that nobody will ever find it.
Yeah, I don't think we want to let it loose in the sea, though. No. I think we want to get it sealed up first. Yeah.
Now, Professor Bethnal was a Miskatonic professor, right?
Yes.
So presumably there's some notes back in Arkham that might be useful to us. Now we're stuck out on a boat in the sea, so
there could be notes in his stateroom from the dig site.
Bethnal was waiting for the information to come to him, and it never.
Yeah, we need to find the head of the dig, doctor somebody. Anyway, all of their notes will be in their rooms.
Yeah. In our past experiences, Keith, does the creature make a noise? Like, is there a noise associated with it?
The only time you heard it was when it tried to cross the ward, and it.
Okay. Otherwise, it's silent.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did it seem to be afraid of the light?
No.
Oh.
Okay. Well, here's what I propose. I propose that we make another excursion to the archaeologists' quarters, see what we can find there. Now, we may want to bring along some bait with us and utilize that to see if there's, maybe throw out a limb or two and to see if the creature is still hiding in that spot, if that is like its hidey hole or whatnot. But right now we don't know where the creature is. It may have gone back to that original spot. That might be its nest. It may be somewhere else on the ship, but I think we need to try and find any other clues that might still be in the archaeologist's quarters.
I think as far as bait goes, we're the last living people on the ship, so we count. As noted earlier, we should probably go down and ward the engine room a few times because we don't want the competent mechanics on board getting at while we wander around in the dark.
We should carry something with the ward on it, too.
Well, that's why I've been copying it out. I figure we should pin them to our front and back, as well as after we mark up the engine room, just because otherwise that thing's just going to swipe our head off from the shadows.
Maybe cover our tracks with the ward, so at least we can make like a corridor of
Mhm.
presumed safety.
When are we going to invent the damn photocopier? We could use a few thousand of these things, and my hand's already cramping up.
Yeah, the mimeograph.
Ditto, I agree.
Use a Gutenberg press
Yeah.
about now.
So it
I
sounds like
mean,
the
I don't
plan.
know how much a photocopier would help you, right? I mean, I believe Michelle said that you have to say the words as you draw the
Yeah,
symbols.
right.
There's something about that act.
We should at least all learn to draw them while we're here. It sounds like we're going to be making a lot of the wards.
Okay. All right. If you want to try and create them, give me a power roll, and trying to learn a spell, you require a hard power roll.
Okay, best.
Extreme.
Oh, yep. Yep. So you kind of practice and you get one.
Nope.
Failure.
Oh, 3.
Nice.
Other
Okay.
extreme.
So JJ and Goldie, maybe the old ancient language is a little hard for you to get to your tongue to pronounce it quite right or something, but yeah. Mhm.
And the name of the spell is
Um, wa- Ward against Agron Talathoth.
Agron Toloth Soth. I see what you mean, Manfred. It does squiggle under your pen as you're writing it. It's sort of mesmerizing. And I
Hey.
imagine
Oh, good.
I was going to say, imagine in writing that or in practicing, we've probably produced at least enough of these little papers to start sticking them on our persons.
Sure. Yep. Yep. Got a little practice and all, and mhm.
now. Do creating these cost us something?
To create
Some
them,
part of
no.
it? No.
Mm-mm.
Oh.
Okay, so shall we head down to the engine room first?
Mhm.
Okay.
And I like the idea of warding along the way to try and cut off parts of the ship.
Yeah, even if we had only a handful of safe places, it'd at least buy us time. And I assume, since we know that Ola, Mrs. Shaughnessy's comrades are dead, that we should just shoot anybody else we see. Because I don't think anybody on this vessel is unaffected.
How very humane of you, Manfred.
We're attempting to prevent a ship full of dead bodies and ancient evil from crashing into the shore of New Jersey. So I figure a couple of cruise ship goers are expendable.
You know what I kind of want to know too is why doesn't it just leave the ship? Why does it just swim away? Is something keeping it here?
It also has a nice stock of food.
I mean, 800 people in 4 days.
Well, you keep acting as if it's an animal. I'm not sure it's an animal.
Well, JJ, I wouldn't expect you to be an expert in such matters.
I've had the closest encounter.
Some
Yeah,
creatures,
well,
Dr. Harding, I believe you can confirm this. Some creatures can survive with limbs being taken off. I've seen lizards who can survive with limbs
yes. I mean, just because we couldn't survive if we were split into 3 parts doesn't mean that another.
Well,
or some type
It
of
also-
I mean,
bacteria,
if it was like a colony of bacteria and you split it into 3 parts, I
an
mean,
amoeba.
it's also
this thing
managed to
could just
survive
be
for
a large.
it's survived for thousands of years without any food at all.
There's no reason to go about believing in ghosts now. I mean, it could very well be an animal just of some order of being that we don't yet understand.
Well, then we should be able to kill it.
Or at least if animal's the wrong term, I mean, it could be, well,
it's presumably at least alive, right, Gregory?
I
It
think that
requires
much is
sustenance.
that's very clear
It
that it's
requires
alive.
sustenance as far as we can tell. It has drive. It has,
Mhm.
I mean, but is
it's
it
motivated by something.
more animal, fungoid, microbe? I mean, quite an overgrown microbe at that, but it's not like I can sit down and dissect the thing, but it wouldn't be so quick to result to mysticism, JJ.
If we can determine behavior, whether it's animal or anything else, a cause and effect, then we can use that to our advantage. We can either keep it away from us or push it away from us or push it to a corner and then seal it in the corner and then hit it with a machine gun. I don't know. We don't have a machine gun.
I don't think we're going to learn anything staying in the bridge here. I suggest we
Yeah.
follow Goldie's plan and start heading down to the engine room.
We shall learn from experience.
Hey,
Yeah.
Ms. O'Shaughnessy, do you know if your sigil affects at any kind of distance, or is it, if we put them every 10 feet, will that be enough? Or do we have to be a constant strip of them on the ground?
I just don't think it can cross it. So that's why I was putting it on
Doors and
doorways.
windows.
Mhm.
Oh.
But
So if
I
we
mean,
put it on every bulkhead we pass, or every,
I mean,
I would know that.
to be fair to me, I just started doing this a few days ago myself. So
You're still learning as well.
yeah.
I wonder if this thing has to go back to Akrakrega once we contain it, or if we can dump it somewhere else.
Yeah, is there anyone in Aknakrega that might know more about this creature? Michelle?
Well, there's more of the order there. My brother is still over there, and
How many people are in this society of yours?
oh, we had our some of our get-togethers. We'd have 30 or 40 people.
Oh.
Hmm.
You know,
And you
not as
managed to
many as
keep
the
your order,
Masons.
managed to keep your order alive despite the fact that you weren't monitoring this threat. You didn't even really believe it existed, did you?
No, but it's not hard to keep people coming to a party once a month to have some drinks and dance.
There's a reason why my father continues to go to the Masonic Lodge.
I thought your father was dead, Goldie.
Oh, right. I'm a little confused about that matter, Dr. Marty. It's still an open question.
Do I need to give you some kind of sedative?
Hmm.
Something to calm the mind?
I will likely need some rest here at some point, but we have a mission. We have a mission to attend to.
Indeed.
Until this thing is trapped, I'd rather keep going.
Assuming the bridge is properly warded at this point,
Mhm.
I'd like to open the, is it called a bulkhead? You know, the special
Yep.
door in a ship out
Hatch.
into the hallway, the hatch, see if it's safe out there, and if so, we can begin to proceed.
Okay. When you open the door and you kind of look out, the hallway, it looks like what it was when you came here, except the lights are now kind of flickering. They're not getting as much power as before throughout the ship.
Well, I've had a good life. Once more into the breach, and I'll step out and proceed to the first door off this hallway and start warding it.
Okay.
I'm keeping point. I've got
Mhm.
my shotgun out, keeping an eye out.
Now, has everyone headed down to the entrance to
Engine
the
room.
engine room?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. We'll assume that your way down, you guys are kind of putting wards on your various hatches and hallways and all, so we don't have to belabor it and you say it every time. Okay. All right, so you get down to the engine room. Uh, when you approach it, you see some of the members of the Foggy Bottom. They're working. Ryan looks up at you and he's like, "Any luck on the radio?"
We were able to make contact with the shore briefly, but they can't send anyone out to get us until after the storm dies down.
This the storm, it just seems to be getting heavier and heavier. Well, it's weird. It wasn't on any of the weather predictions that it was going to be this rough of a storm out here. Would have let this damn ship sink if I had known.
Hmm. Yeah.
Well,
Well,
we found a survivor. This is Miss O'Shaughnessy.
oh,
Uh,
it's a pleasure to meet you.
so not every soul is lost. Sorry about your fellow.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah. We lost Eric in the explosion. Part of the metal when it exploded went through his neck.
it's a damn thing. We have found that it's useful to mark this image on doors and windows. It keeps the maniacs that are running loose at bay for some reason. So we're just gonna take care of this right here. So Shaughnessy, if you would, she's got the best singing voice.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, sailors are superstitious lot, so
Hmm.
so she kind of puts it on there, and he kind of smiles a bit, but when she does, and he goes, "Well, I'm gonna go back down and see if we can figure out if we can get maybe jerry rig this shaft to get one of the propellers working."
Yeah. If we can keep the damn thing from sinking until the storm dies down, then we'll get towed in. We're gonna look for more survivors. We'll be in touch.
Okay. Good luck.
Um,
Don't
uh,
let any strangers in.
yeah.
Okay. So,
I want to ask Michelle when she's done with the
mhm.
sigil. Did was the weather? Did the weather change at all, like on the ship on the ride over from Ireland?
I mean, the ship was rocking, but from what I had heard, that was rather normal. This is the first time I've been out to the deep ocean. The most I'd been on a ship was headed over to Wales.
But the weather wasn't terrible like it is now.
No.
Well, okay, okay. So that just happened now, like once we got on the ship. Okay.
Yeah.
Or once the thing ate, 6 of the 800 human beings that it's consumed.
I think
Again, there
it's
was a thing in the ocean that moved that wave. It wasn't natural.
I think it's probably a good idea to keep the old ATT just on a need to know basis. I don't think we should start a panic or have the crew think we've
gone
seen
insane.
some, yeah, exactly. We've seen some stuff, but
Oh, I think that conversation was after we left the engine room. I was, yeah.
yeah.
Right. Well, and didn't two of the guys see the creature the first time? Like two of the guys
One
were
of
with
one
us.
one of them was with you when like the
Mhm.
but
So
it was it
he
that
said it.
that flare was losing its light, and
Well,
shadows can play tricks on your eyes.
true.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So we're heading to the alpha deck
Yeah.
now.
Before you leave, Goldie, give me a power roll.
No.
Okay. All right. You feel a compulsion to kind of just delay a bit and be the last one to leave.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Where's everyone headed?
To the Was it B, the deck that
I think it's
A.
alpha, right? Alpha, yeah.
okay.
And I think we should be warding along the way like we did coming down, just to because we can.
In fact,
Now this,
if it's not out of the way, we could ward from the engine room. We could return to the engine room and go from that direction, so we have a hopefully safe route back.
Agreed.
the ship is a passenger ship, yes?
Yes.
So can we assume that every once in a while we're going to find stuff that's used to service the passengers? I'm thinking if we could pick up trays that they would use to bring stuff, we could make them into shields with that symbol written on them.
Yeah, I mean, that's very reasonable that you could find.
Yeah.
You'd find about anything that you would reasonably expect to find on a cruise line.
In fact, I'm going to be liberating bottles of champagne as we move through the hallways.
Yep.
All right. So you guys head on out. Goldie, right before you leave, you know, that symbol they drew on the engine door, you don't like it. It'd be better if it wasn't there.
Mm. Okay. Just I'm waiting for them to kind of head out of the hallway, and I'm just gonna smudge it a little bit.
Okay. All right.
It's pretty sketch.
Okay, so you guys make your way back up. You can find that tray. Maybe not the best champagne here on the lower decks, but some sparkling white wine.
It'll be
Oh.
warm.
Yeah, we well shaken from rolling back and forth, and you make it up to the promenade deck, which is where the rooms that start with A are. So as you get into the hallway, you again look down the hallway. You can see the person slumped on the floor with the back of his head blown out.
That'd be one of the professors, you think?
What's he dressed in?
He's it looks like he's wearing like not a black tie suit, but a suit you would wear to dinner.
No brown tweed with the leather.
Yeah, a little
Yeah.
bit.
I already found the one arm. That's the arm that was holding the manifest with the tweed thing going on. So that might have been.
I'll go through his pockets.
Exactly.
Okay.
Light him down.
All right. As you go through, you see that this is a Michael O'Leary.
Oh, is that one of yours, Miss O'Shaughnessy?
He goes, it is. Yes.
Sorry.
So sorry.
I hadn't seen anyone for a few days. I kind of assumed the worst, but still seeing them is a little shocking.
I'd like to walk towards the room I saw the tentacle come out of very cautiously
Okay.
and shine a light. I want to see if that urn is somewhere around.
Okay.
Hold up your tray.
Yeah.
Okay. When you come around and you shine your light into the room where you estimated the tentacle comes out of, all you see is a little bit of black slime kind of on the floor.
But no, it's not the professor's room?
Nope. The room that it kind of came out, we'll say that was Alpha 9, A9.
Okay. Nothing in here but slime.
The black slime traceable?
Give me a track.
Good golly. Here I have a track at 55 and I rolled an 84, so.
Okay. Oh.
I mean, there is also
Yeah,
matted blood and
exactly. Yeah.
see what, Yeah.
Mhm.
It's dark.
Yeah.
It's dark. All right. So yeah, let's get to the Miskatonic team's rooms and clear them, and then we can work our way out.
Yeah. And if you remember from the manifest, that was room A5. That's where it was.
Mhm.
Which is the doorway that is just across the hall from where Michael's body is. And
The
there
one
are,
that was with the bullet holes?
yep.
Huh. Well,
And
I'll
is A5 closed?
The door is shut. Yep.
Are there bullet holes in the door?
Yes.
Both directions?
You're an experienced hunter. You can tell that the bullets, they were exiting the room into the hallway.
He might still
Looked
be
like
in
they
there.
might have just shotgunned him through the door.
That's reasonable.
Yeah. Any light coming out of the holes?
Uh, no, no, no.
Yeah. All right. Goldie, why are you in the back? I thought you were keeping point with me.
Oh yeah. I'm here. I'm just making sure nothing sneaks up on us.
So I'm gonna, if you stand on this side, I'm gonna kick open the door, and
Yeah,
then you can be ready to fire, and then I'll swoop in if we don't have anything leap out at us.
I'm on it.
All
All
right.
right. On the count of three or whatever, you kick it. Give me a strength roll.
25 out of 63 is so
Yep.
hard.
Yep. You kick it. You kick the door open. Um, and the door swings open. Inside the suite, everything is clean, almost immaculate after the chaos that you've seen throughout out the ship. A few glasses and small decorative items roll about on the floor. A couch and an upturned table are positioned near the main door in a clear attempt to make a defensible position. All the furniture is intact, though as it was made for a barricade to withstand an attack that never came. Similarly, pristine barricades of chairs and side tables block the state's other exterior doors. So it's one of those, you know how you have those hotel rooms where you have the adjoining door. So,
Joining rooms. Yeah.
mhm.
And there are no urns and no bodies.
There are not.
So they were in here, some of them at least.
Mhm.
Brother of the stone, Michael, came a knocking and they blasted him and then they took off. Do you suppose they were carrying these damned urns around? It's clay, right, Mrs. Shaughnessy?
They look clay. I mean, they weren't carved out of granite.
Yeah. Well, it's pretty clean in here. Let's see if anybody left a day book or notes or anything.
Mhm. Okay.
Desk drawers and
Yeah, it's eerie how clean this room is compared to the rest of this creaking
Yeah.
death trap.
All right. So when you go in to look around, there is a book that looks like it's kind of been ripped up. You know, it's kind of maybe you open the drawer to the desk. There's some pages that are kind of ripped and shredded in there.
mm-hmm. Anything look useful?
If you spend a little time, you could probably piece it back together. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Do we want to? I feel like this is not a bad place for us to use as a local stronghold, right? When we put this journal together.
Might as well ward it. While you're doing that, I'm gonna, take a look in the adjoining room.
Yeah. Be careful. They could be hiding
Yeah.
in there.
Okay. When you look in the adjoining room, this room is also nice and not chaotic like the other rooms. It, but yeah, kind of looks the same. It's definitely one of the smaller of the two, but still it's a first class area, so it's still nice.
Um, yeah, I'm not as concerned about the wards, but I'm just gonna start kind of looking around the room,
Okay.
investigating in the smaller room.
All right. Yep. We look around. So while he's doing that, I assume JJ, Harold, and Dr. Harding, you guys are in the room also, maybe assisting Manfred trying to get these pages put back together.
I'm
I'm
partly
warding.
paranoid. Oh, go
Mhm.
ahead.
Go.
I'm standing near the door, keeping my eyes on the hallway in case Nutjob comes running up with an axe. And
Yeah.
by the way, I've got an axe as
Okay.
well.
Yep.
So
Yep. No
yeah.
problem at all. Yeah. You can definitely find fire axes throughout the ship. Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to be warding the door we came through, the door Goldie went through, and it sounds like there's a third door on the other side of the room.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, so they're all adjoining.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. All right. So after a little bit of work there, Manfred, this is the what the page looks like.
With that much I am certain. The markings on the urns become clear each day, as do the angelic voices that accompany them. Everything makes sense now. Only my summoners and I see the truth. The sheep around me cannot understand, but they will once the ritual is complete. From then, 30 days are needed for the energy to grow sufficiently for the next ritual may commence. Oh, Lord, he's been at it for a while. It is done. The first step of the process. Glory to the rising master. Maximum consumption of the flesh. The vitality of the fallen will only strengthen the resolve of his form and bring into full contrast the reality of that which resides within. Breaking the form will not be possible. That which is freed cannot be killed, otherwise the ancients would have used their swords and axes and flames to destroy the undestroyable, rather than contain the triumvirate in those three unholy vessels. The images are clear in my head, as clear as they are in the vessels, carved into my soul as they are carved into the stone, piercing the void of reality, pierces the flesh, allowing for consumption of the soul, along with the consumption of flesh. The return of the Master heralds the return of the true reality brought forth by
Then the rest, like, couldn't quite get them together. Maybe there's some water spilled on it and all.
Can
Well,
we? Whose room
JJ,
is this?
This is Dr. Nicholas Sebastian's room.
Is there anything else in this room written by that a letter or anything that might have his handwriting? I just want to confirm that it's really him and not somebody else.
Give me a spot hidden on that.
Okay. Come on, dice. Remember, I'm handicapped. Oh, got a. Yep, that's a 19, not a 17.
Yep. You find something, yeah, that he has in there. Maybe like he signed off on like a room
So the
service or something.
the professor knew about this. How
yeah,
long were they in Ireland?
That's gonna be my question.
about 26 days ago, or 30 days ago, well, 34 days ago is when he solved the puzzle, it looks like.
And they'd been in Ireland at least since May, and it's now late August.
They knew
yeah,
what they were doing.
well, I
He
wouldn't
did.
jump to any conclusions. He may not have known what he was doing when he left Arkham.
No, I don't think
Wh-
so.
Whatever he encountered at that dig site gave him some new perspectives on life. But something you said, JJ, is now sticking with me, that the imprisoning of the triumvirate. I mean, Agron, Talon, Soth. What are those three separate entities?
Yeah,
Yeah.
triumvirate.
It also says that it's just a step in what they're trying to do. So I don't think the professors are dead. I think they got to be hiding somewhere.
There's one professor.
Laborer,
So a
graduate
professor,
student.
yeah, undergraduate student, right?
Yeah, the one that's
Yeah.
crossed out.
Well, no, one
I thought the one
laborer
that
was
was crossed out
crossed
was
out.
was a laborer.
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah,
So
you're right.
there's a professor, laborer, student, graduate student
Mhm.
is what I have.
Yeah, so the question is whether Sebastian converted the others or whether, I mean, my guess is that the one who's crossed out was sacrificed about 34 days ago.
Mhm.
And it
He
took 3
mentions
days.
followers.
Yeah. And then
Well,
this
Well,
great
who was well?
flash.
We don't know why the person because you found the torn the blah, blah, blah. You found the torn manuscript page in a dining hall, clutched
Mhm.
in the hands of a dead body.
Correct.
yeah,
Yep.
Michelle goes, yeah, that was uh Sam got that. We were trying to figure out who was all in the dig, and he took a tour of the bridge, and he totally tore that out of the ship's manifest, and
Okay, and so with the cross-off name, you think means that they've been killed?
he was the one that was sacrificed 4 days ago.
Ooh, I don't like the sound of that. And what was that about eating flesh? Wasn't there some sort of it's got to feed on the flesh of the people?
And the more it eats, the bigger it gets, and the more real its body is. Yeah.
Oh, there's a lot of people on this boat.
There were. And it can't be killed, but it can be driven into vessels.
Hmm.
I
Well, I guess
wonder if we could get power up to the point is that uh, Blackman, a ship like this, it must have a general address system, right? That goes out over speakers all over the vessel.
yeah, surely it does. Surely it does. We could
If,
call out from the bridge.
if Miss O'Shaughnessy could chant her chant over loudspeakers over the whole ship, that might cause our tripartite friend some distress.
Mhm. And we could hear where he is if he's making noises on impact with the wards.
We could make a recording. We just have it play over and over and over again.
What's the hour? In the
Uh,
storm, I can't tell whether it's day or night.
yeah, it's pretty dark out, but you guys got headed out in the afternoon, so it's probably 11:30 at night.
Yeah, maybe we divert all the electricity to the loudspeakers once the sun comes up, if we last that long.
Yeah.
Right. And Goldie, give me another power roll.
That I think I passed. Let's see. Yes, that's a regular success.
Okay. For a moment, you felt the need to lock the door between the adjoining cabins, but then you were maybe when you started reaching for it, you kind of like, hmm,
Realized what happened.
yeah.
Oh, that's.
The
I'm kind of
others,
standing there a little puzzled.
yeah. The others in the other room, even though it's dark and cloudy, there's been lightning flashes, through the windows, and you notice that the window the is pitch black now.
Oh, I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I'm going to run over the window and start warding it. I don't like this at all.
Okay, all right. When you start warding it, the window explodes in, and the tentacle comes whipping in there at you before you can get it finished. Okay, all
Holy
right.
shit.
I'll run towards it with my shield.
Okay, all right. We'll go in our good old dex order there. It is fast. Okay, so do you want to dodge, Harold, or fight back with your little shield?
Oh, I'm gonna because the glass shards are coming right into my face. I'm going to try to roll away from it.
Okay. All right.
At least
So,
protect my eyes.
yeah, man, my dice are good. All right.
Oh no.
Give me a dodge.
Dodge is half dex.
Hmm.
54 over 27.
Okay. All right. So, um, you suddenly feel two tentacles kind of grab you and they yank. And, these windows aren't big.
Oh no.
Okay. All right. What's everyone do when you see Harold kind of just like slam against it and he's starting to kind of bend, his spine?
Trying to hit it with my shield.
Okay. All right. Uh, you, as long as you don't fumble, you're going to hit it because you're not like trying.
13.
Okay. Yeah. So that tentacle, it kind of shivers and you hear that awful scream again as it yanks
Away.
back and all Harold, as it yanks out the little claws that were in the tentacle, they kind of rip across you and you'll take 7 points of damage as it
Oof.
takes a pretty good chunk out of your side with that.
Is that a? Oh God.
It's half your
Yeah, that's a
points,
major wound. It's more
all
than
right.
half. Yeah.
Give me a constitution roll.
Oh God. Oh God. Well, I'm pretty well constituted here. 78 over 70.
Okay. The pain is just so bad that you kind of black out on that. Okay. All right. Okay. But the others can see that it grabbed him with two tentacles, so the one on his left side, it's still got a hold of him and it's pulling and stuff. And
I'd like to
so
put a gun into that tentacle, pointed
Okay.
away from Harold. Just
Okay.
pressed into the black slime of it and fire.
It's fire, as long as you don't get a malfunction.
No, I did not.
Okay. And roll your damage.
10 plus 2. Oh, 12.
Nice.
It might feel that.
Yeah, let me make note of that. That's a good hit. So when you do, yeah, it kind of hits it, and like this black slime comes out from it and starts dripping down, and then it yanks as hard as possible to get away from you, and give me a luck roll there, Harold.
Me.
Yeah. See if it releases or if it's just going to use all its force to get away and still hang on to you.
19 under 35. Okay, I got lucky here.
Okay, so yeah. Instead of just yanking and essentially folding you in half as it pulled you through the window, it released and yanked through. Oh my God. It did another 7 on that. So.
Rip. Okay, dying
Yeah,
from Harold.
Hang on there. Yeah. Hang on there.
Yeah.
I would like to try to save if he's released from the tentacles.
Yeah, so he's kind of on the ground. He's got a much skinnier waist as like the two sides of his abdomen has been ripped off of him.
You could see the bottoms of my lungs and the intestines spilling out onto the floor.
Well,
I love it.
I got. I will try first aid to save.
Okay, all right.
Hang on there, Mr. Blackman. 46 to the pass.
Okay, all right. So, yeah, kind of gets in there, and you're still marked dying, of course, until you get a medical. So if you take another wound, then you immediately go back into the death spiral.
Yeah, don't have enough time to sew you up.
Unconscious.
Yeah.
How many of these portal windows are in each of these in a stateroom of this size?
I'd say 2. We'll say 2 in each. Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna. I guess my first impulse is to just fire a few more shots into the blackness outside, just to try
Hmm.
to give it a little distance. I don't imagine I can miss the thing, given that it's a leviathan on some
Yeah.
level.
Hmm. Yeah.
Uh, and then I want to slap one of the paper copies of the ward on the other window, just that we have a
Yeah.
moment's peace.
Okay. Yeah.
If you're shooting, I'll grab one of the other shields and stick it up against the other portal.
Okay.
Um,
All right. So you're doing that, Dr. Harding. You're tending to Harold, who's on the ground, just like
Gurgling.
fading in and out. And JJ, what are you doing?
Well, it seems like the ward hurts the creature and makes it pull away. So I'm trying to push it back out the window with the ward.
Oh, it's already pulled. It pulled away
Okay. Well, then
immediately.
I'm
So,
holding the ward up against the window so that it can't get back in.
okay. All right.
All right.
So while you guys are doing that, uh, the suite door opens and you see Cade. He swings the axe and he hits Michelle right here, and you hear this scream come from her, and he goes, "You must be sacrificed." Okay, and Manfred, you're up.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna. She's in front of him, but I have to try to take the shot
Hmm.
because there's a chance she'll survive. Good God. Uh, um, so that's 69 over 40.
Mm.
Do I spend essentially all of my luck to try to save O'Shaughnessy, who's got an axe in her clavicle? Is the moral question I'm facing at the moment. Uh,
That'll be up to you.
Perhaps other people will go and try to save her.
my shot went wild.
Okay. Give me a luck roll.
I see, and if I had spent any luck, so 36 under 40.
Okay, you didn't hit her either, though. So,
Yeah.
okay. All right. JJ, you're up.
Right. Um, I don't know. At this point, I'm more concerned about holding the window closed with my ward, but I've got an axe. Who's
Mhm.
closest to the action? Can I throw
Uh,
my axe?
Probably Goldie, because Dr. Harding was probably kind of kneeled down, tending to Harold at the time. So,
And I was
Can
just
I
shooting
throw
out the
her my?
window, so.
Can I throw her my
Doesn't
axe?
Goldie have a gun?
I have a gun. Yeah.
Oh,
What I'm doing
It's a
is I'm
shotgun.
holding one of the wards up against the other
oh,
window
okay,
that's
yeah. So we're
suite.
well.
So I've got like one hand.
If I can somehow sort of wedge the tray up there,
mhm.
I'll go after uh Cade uh axe swinging.
Okay. All right. So you're gonna go at him axe swing. We'll just go with that. We'll say, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, that's a I know. I'm apparently really a lousy fighter. So
He is apparently he is not. So he kind of pushes Michelle back and he swings his axe at you, and I rolled a 14. So he does 9 points of damage to you, and you had one.
well, yeah, that puts me
Yeah, you're back down on
negative
the.
8.
Yeah. So uh, Dr. Gregory's like, what am I? What? I can't keep you guys all alive. Okay,
I
Harold,
only have so many hands.
Harold, you're conscious, but you're obviously not in great. If you had a gun, you could maybe like do that where you reach above you and take a shot kind of thing, but
And I'm gonna black out again.
Yeah. And Dr. Harding?
Okay. There's a madman with an axe.
Yep.
It's no use me trying to stabilize JJ, given that there's a madman with an axe. I have his previous axe,
Mm-hmm.
so I will try to chop into him.
Okay, you get a bonus die because you're the second person attacking
I'm
you
gonna
this round.
fucking need it.
Yep.
Actually, a 10.
Ooh, I rolled bad. Okay.
So a 10 is because I can't roll any lower than that. So
He
bonus die doesn't
he
matter.
fumbled, so like
Ooh. Yeah, so
Uppercut.
hard success for me.
okay.
So what's the damage for an axe?
An axe is 1d8 plus 2 plus damage bonus.
For the love of God. 3.
3. You wing him. Maybe when he fumbled, he kind of tumbled out of the way just a bit or something. Okay, Goldie.
Okay. Obviously, I think the axe wielding maniac is probably the biggest concern right now. So, so I'm gonna drop the shield that I'm holding up against the window, and yeah, I'm gonna take aim with the shotgun.
Okay, fire away. Uh, I'll say with a shotgun and this close things, as long as it doesn't malfunction, you're going to hit him. I mean,
Or
Yeah,
it'll be
that's
death.
that's a success. That's a
okay.
regular success.
All right.
Okay.
And what gauge was it?
Um, so I don't have that written down here, but the damage I have is 4d6.
Oh, so it's a 12 gauge then.
12
Yep.
gauge.
All right.
Okay.
4d6.
All right.
It's loud as hell.
Yeah. That's 9, 10, so 19.
Okay. Yeah, you hit him and like he just kind of goes flying back as his chest opens up from essentially a point blank thing with a shotgun right into him. He collapses down. Manfred, you're up.
It's first aid for either O'Shaughnessy or Jargon, and I think he's the less likely to survive. So I'm going to start wrapping something around her shoulder before I.
Okay. Give me a first aid.
Fingers crossed, kids. Oh, well, it's a regular 24 into 30.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's a complex compound fracture. So, the bones sticking out, broken through the skin and all, but you are pretty sure you probably saved her life.
I can stop her bleeding out, then we can worry about it. Yeah.
Maybe little pink air bubbles or so and all, but yeah.
Yeah. All right.
All right.
So we need to organize. Well,
First, we gotta see if JJ survives.
Yeah.
Give me a con roll.
77. Where's my con? Oh, no.
Got some luck?
You have luck?
I'd have to spend, let's see. I guess I'd have to spend
any
17.
amount.
How much luck do I have? Okay. All right, I'll spend it.
Okay. All right.
I couldn't look very good.
All right. And Dr. Harding.
All right, Blackman, hold on. I'm gonna move over to JJ. And try to stop the bleeding on this this new axe wound. Ugh. 08!
Okay.
An extreme success. Ooh, rolling hot.
Lots of interesting scars gained.
Jesus. Goldie, we need to fashion a couple of litters so we can carry these people to the infirmary.
Yeah.
Or half drag them.
Okay. I'm thinking like maybe like the mattresses or
mattress is awfully heavy, but maybe if we can take the mattress off, we can strip down one of a bed or two and fashion some sort of travois system, maybe even link them.
okay.
But I don't. It's not looking good.
No, it's
I'm gonna pick up the scroll of Zyvon, which I assume Mrs. Shaughnessy dropped when it salted.
Yeah.
And stuff that into my inner pocket next to the professor's notes so that we don't lose track of those things. And yeah, we'll start tearing bed sheets apart. Maybe there's a coat rack or something we can use, or a couple of those between the rooms.
Or like a table, like a wood table maybe, and then we could like take off the legs of the table.
I mean, the less we shake Blackman's guts, the better, for sure.
Yeah.
I'll come to just as he says that, and then start screaming and pass out from the pain again.
We bring any of that morphine along?
I was going to ask, Harding, did you happen to bring any ampules of...
We pilfered the infirmary, so I've got lots of medical supplies on me, so I could I can make, I mean, Blackman's going to stay asleep if I give him a good dose of this, but that might be for the best.
he might need it to survive this trip because we're going to be pulling him through.
All right, Blackman. I hope you dream better dreams than this.
If only we had antibiotics.
Yeah. What are those?
Diet
Well, if you stop picking at it.
What?
They're
picking at
raving.
this or picking at my axe wound?
Okay. All right. So you guys get your thing fashioned together to
our makeshift yeah.
Okay.
I'm just gonna look at Cade and see if there's anything of interest on him. I'm assuming he has this bag of goodies with him. He did drop that. I don't know if he has anything else of interest on him.
He's had ample time to collect some more limbs after all.
He wasn't carrying a bag around though because he had new people to try and get.
I wonder if you've got the medical supplies you need, Harding. We don't want to go up and downstairs, obviously. We just want to find the best light we can. Do you want to use the dining room to try to stitch these guys up some more?
That would be best. The more light, the more stable. So somewhere, close to the inside of the ship so we're not teeter-tottering too much. And with good overhead light, that's where we need to bring them.
All right. So
stitching them up is going to take a long time.
Yeah. There is a dining room on this deck. It's at the side of the ship. It is at the front of the ship. So.
And maybe we should head that way.
Okay. All right.
Is Miss O'Shaughnessy intermittently conscious? Is she?
She'll be able to walk, but she's going to need either you to kind of help her out. But yeah, I mean, her right side of her body is pretty much not functioning right now. Yeah.
And JJ, are you walking?
I'm dragging myself along.
Okay. All right. I can likely carry Blackman or chug Blackman along. I'm pretty tough.
Can I do a spot hidden to notice that our wards have been smudged?
I think I just did that in the engine room. Have I been doing that the whole time?
Nope, just in the engine room.
Oh, okay. Then never mind.
Mm-hmm. So, they look good.
I'm going to kick Kate a few times as I go past him.
Okay, yeah.
I'm actually going to take a moment while we're getting the carrying bits together just to see if Cade's got anything interesting on him. Does he have a picture of his wife in a locket? Does he have some crazy screed? Anything in his pockets of note other than
Uh,
fingers?
so when you kind of start look there, remember he had cut the sleeves off of his suit, cut the legs off of his suit and all. You kind of go through it. Yeah, I will say he's got a wallet in like his internal jacket pocket, and maybe one of those Bibles, that has the New Testament, Psalms and Proverbs in it and all. But mhm.
Yeah, he was a. I shudder to think what condition he left his wife in reality. All right, dining hall this way.
All
Yeah.
right. All right.
At least once, as Goldie is dragging me along, my guts spill out and get stuck on something, and she has to unstick them and shove them back in my side.
Yeah. You don't do that with me. You
Dustpan.
don't shove them back.
Exactly.
Okay. All right. So when you get to the dining room, this large room uh, seems to have been a dining room, judging by the furniture that has been pushed to the sides and the corners of the room. In the center, the lacquered hardwood floor is marred by a massive circular symbol. It is drawn out of blood. Around the symbol is a ring of candles that have been knocked over. Further strange arcane sigils and scattered piles of bones, small bone fragments, and overturned bowl are dispersed around the candles. In the middle of the central symbol is a pile of viscera, gore, and bones. Intermixed with it are shards of a large broken clay pot.
Shards of one.
Yeah, they broke it.
They broke one out of the three. Maybe there's three different floors.
Can I examine the pot and see if by sort of partly piecing together the pieces, I can see if there was writing all over it?
Yeah, there definitely was. If you kind of look at it and you kind of put it together, it's definitely the same symbols that you guys have been drawing.
Yeah. See if there's anything on there that is more, so that obviously somehow these were strong enough to hold that thing.
Mhm. No, no, all the symbols are there. So somehow,
Okay.
yeah.
Well, it's a little bit like closing the barn door, but I'm going to efface the blood symbol on the floor.
Okay.
I'm gonna, drag some things through it and mess it up real good. And then we'll pull some tables together and gently put the patients down.
Okay.
And I guess, Goldie, you and I will just maintain a circular watch.
Yeah. If you want to start writing out the sigils, I'll keep watch on you while you do that.
That sounds, the shotgun's nice. We can make the thing feel pain and gout that black fucking goo. I assume it smelled awful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Comes to mind. Yeah.
Yeah. Miss O'Shaughnessy, if you want to keep chanting while I copy this out, just to help sanctify this space,
Okay.
might help you occupy your mind.
Yeah. You notice when she coughs, there's some blood in her.
Sure.
No surprise.
There's,
Yeah.
there's little bubbles coming up. So
Mhm.
what goes in must come out.
Okay, so you guys kind of go around. You get the room warded. Right.
Are there any, other than the bone fragments and viscera at the site of the sacrifice, any
Mhm.
other bodies around here?
There are not.
Wonder what's happened to the professor himself.
You guys can all give me we'll call it a spot hidden, but a retroactive one.
Even those of us who are bleeding out
Yep.
on the table.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yep. You got nothing.
009.
All you have is time to think. Okay, good.
I'm a little distracted by all these patients that I have on
Yeah,
my
yeah.
on hand, so
Uh,
no.
so, so JJ, when you were kind of going through that room, there was no luggage.
There was no luggage.
So, like if you'd went into other people's rooms, they would have had their like overnight
Well,
bag. Yeah,
they're steamer trunks.
yeah.
Why was there no luggage?
Hmm.
Did they
I'm assuming
just
there was no luggage in the room that I looked at as well, the joining room.
Correct.
Yeah.
Hmm.
did they just get on the ship without bringing their stuff with them? Or did they leave the ship at some point? But where could they have possibly gotten off the ship?
I mean, if they got onto the if they got onto either of the other boats, they're sunk.
If it sunk,
Are they stowed away on a
Are all the
lifeboat?
Yeah, are all the lifeboats accounted for? We have
We're missing lifeboats.
There were missing lifeboats. Okay.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah, they would be long gone.
Hmm.
Well, yeah, but I mean, they'd be long gone into a violent storm with.
Well,
Uh,
and was
well,
according to the diary that you found, it seemed like they wanted to call forth some type of lord and master. Why would they want to escape from this
well, they may not be able
creature?
to control it. They released one of these entities here, and they've taken the two other pots elsewhere
to
to repeat the process.
Hmm.
yeah, it might be that the three things have to be opened in different places.
Or there's
Hmm.
just not enough food for all three of them in one location.
Because they need more than 800 human souls.
Yeah, this thing is going to have to consume more.
Thing is, we're too far out. If they're in a lifeboat, they're going to die.
Well, they
Uh,
also have whatever the hell these things in the jars are. I mean, I wouldn't be so quick to say that they're going to be helplessly adrift.
if apparently the thing can get into your mind, though, it sounded like it was telling him what to do.
At
Angelic
that
voices.
at that, Goldie kind of looks down and says, I I think that thing was getting into my mind as well.
Why do you say that?
I felt this strange urge right before the tentacles came in through the portal to lock you all in there when I was in the joining room.
Maybe we need to carve that symbol into our foreheads or something. Uh,
That's morphine talking. I think we're good for now, Harding.
I've had some really serious encounters with that thing now, and I haven't felt compelled or driven to do anything.
No, you haven't been talking to the ghosts of your family either.
Have you been talking to the ghosts of your family?
Well, I thought for a while there that my father was on the ship, and he's been dead over a decade.
Well, that was when you took some trauma. You were, I don't understand. If they got off the ship, where did they go? If they got into lifeboats, is something helping them?
Well, whatever that's. Did the wave that destroyed the Foggy Bottom seem natural to you, JJ?
No. Is there anything that we can do? I feel like we can't do anything but stay here and die.
Well, that's optimistic.
Yeah,
Well,
it's not the morphine talking.
if we could get out oars and start rowing this ship, we might make it into
We need
port.
to find another little box to stuff this thing back into, I think.
And
Well, if
then
they've
get this
got,
information to shore because other people need to know.
well,
And then get this information to shore because other people need to know. And then get this information to shore because other people need to know. And then get this information to shore because other people need to know. And then get this information to shore because other people need to know. And then get this information to shore because other people need to know. And then get this information to shore because other people need to know. And then get this information to shore because other people need to know. And then get this information to shore because other people need to know. And then get this information to shore because other people need to know. And then get this information to shore because other people need to know. And then get this information to shore because other people need to know. And then get this information to shore because other people need to know. And then get this information to shore because other people need to know. And then get this information to shore because other people need to know. And then get this information to shore because other people need to know. And then get this information to shore because other people need to know. And then get this information to shore because other people need to know. And then get this information to shore because other people need to know. And then get this information to shore because other people need to know. And then get this information to shore because other people need to know. And then get this information to shore because other people need to know. And then get this information to shore because other people need to
But how? How do we get this thing into an urn?
Well, we need to find a suitable alternative. We need to write the warning spell on it. At
Something in the
that point,
And
kitchen.
then
does the
what?
scroll have something to say about the containment process?
It talks about let's look at exactly what it is, so I don't pick out my ass. hmm So containing building it. They and the druids, what they did, they just made a container with what they could make back in 1200, and they were able to get it in there. Now it doesn't say how they were able to, force it into it, but like what you get from it is the urns were just what they had around to
Yeah, they
store it
weren't
in.
Something we
special.
Yeah,
could
so it
find
doesn't have
something
to
in the
be an
kitchen.
urn.
Something
Hmm?
in the kitchen might work.
And this urn doesn't seem particularly large.
No, but it seems like we're missing some steps here. Like it's all fine and good to write some, gobbledygook on a milk crate, but how do we convince this thing to get into
Well, I wasn't
the
planning on asking it politely.
container?
Well,
What do we
Goldie,
do?
Well,
have you ever gone fishing for like lobster? You
I've
create a
caught fish
funnel.
before.
You create a funnel so that the lobsters have no other direction to go than into the trap. So if we somehow with the wards create a funnel and force this creature into the trap, it goes into the container. I mean, a pot from the kitchen or something.
But
And
why
then
why would it want to go into a container that's covered with
it
these
would
sigils? It seems to
because it
be
has no other choice. You
it
force it
has no
in.
other choice. The lid's off. That's the only direction it can go. We can keep compressing it and compressing it
Yeah.
smaller and smaller
Basically,
into
you
the
lure it
hole.
into an enclosed space.
well, this was my
And
point earlier is we're gonna have to collect something, I'm assuming some limbs, to attract this being into a space.
well, you don't have to attract it. You have to, it's like catching a rat in your living room. You push it into a corner and then you get it there.
Except it's
You don't,
outside the vessel reaching in.
well, here's the other thing I was thinking. Thousands of years ago, the scroll said something about the thing ransacking the neighborhood and killing people and all of that. Chances are it had grown enormous then too. Maybe you only need to catch a little piece of it and it's trapped because obviously they couldn't get the giant thing into the pot. But if you can get its heart or its soul or its essence
Yeah.
into the pot,
Yeah.
Well, we need to come up with some kind of strategy if we're going to try to funnel it, and I'm at a loss because it's outside of the ship itself. But unless we lure it onto the ship, I don't know how we can get it to come inside again. I mean, it seems to be coming after us, but
It was
um,
inside the ship. We saw it inside the ship.
right. But now, as far as we know, it's outside.
We
why is
saw
it still trying to eat us? That's a good question. Maybe we can
Um,
lure it.
We're alive.
it doesn't like
yeah.
seafood, apparently.
Am I still dying?
No, no.
Okay.
If you take another wound, you will be. But yeah, you're kind of
You're
you're up
hanging
and kind of
in.
Something
you're
matter.
hanging in.
I've been having this whole
Holding my
conversation while you're dying on the table.
Harding's like wrapped you tight enough that it's kind of somewhat holding you in.
I needed to lose a few extra pounds around the waist anyway.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, if we get off this boat, Harding, you can patent that for weight loss. Uh, what does that mean? What do you think about the idea of using the ship's loudspeakers to freak the thing out? Maybe we grease pencil the sigil all over a 8-gallon stock pot, take it up to the bridge and sing its scary song to it. I agree. I don't know why it would go inside something. Maybe that's the only thing that only has it on the outside. I don't know.
Maybe they had to condense it into the urn, then they wrote the sigil on it to lock it in.
Maybe they put a fresh human heart in it. The professor's crazy. They don't say anything about it liking any particular body part. It just likes flesh and soul.
Well, it likes
Juices.
liquids.
All right.
Anyway, time to start sewing some people up.
Yeah, I assume you've been stitching away.
Okay. Yeah. Want to do a medicine roll?
Yeah.
All
It's
right.
Nice monster.
You've got 3 of them to do, I think.
Here, bite down on this.
Here's my belt.
93 is
You're not a real doctor, are you?
Hey, how many points? How many points do you have in medicine? I'm gonna assume
You can push it.
You teach undergraduates how to cut open frogs. Like
I mostly
get a
dissect
one-
bodies.
Yeah.
bodies, yeah.
Yeah.
So, who am I stitching up right now?
I think Harold's probably the most.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Harold, how do you
Sure,
feel?
at the table.
How do you feel about pushing this roll?
I mean, I feel like, if I'm able to have this conversation, Harold is unconscious on the table and can't meaningfully consent to anything. I feel
Sounds like
pushing.
we're pushing the roll.
All right. So,
There's no other option.
by the rule book, consequences of failing a push roll is the patient dies.
Oh, fuck me.
Oh man. Well,
Here
I mean, do
we
you want
go.
to test it out on Michelle or JJ
No,
first?
you ain't trying that out on me.
Nope. Well,
Here we go.
Do it.
It takes guts.
49.
Okay. All right.
Watch.
Harold, you get back 1d3 hit points.
Okay. Let's see. 1.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I mean, he was stitching you up on a rocking ship and trying to keep your guts in.
You're a hack. My grandmother
Shut
could do
up.
better.
Just hold still, damn it.
Ah.
All right, JJ.
Just stitch it up. I'll grit my teeth.
Okay. All right.
Use your sewing skills.
73 is not it.
So I don't get anything back, but I'm still at 1.
Yep. You're still one.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah, your wounds are a little too. That axe wound's
Extensive.
not gonna close up.
Yeah.
And then for
It's gonna leave a
Michelle.
scar.
Oh, yeah. It's going to leave
Oh,
a
yeah.
wonderful score. Okay. All right. Here we go. Michelle.
What? I was rolling so well.
Come on, Stuart. What is
A
going on?
90.
What was it?
Yeah, a 96.
96. And what is your skill rating?
60.
Okay, so it's not a fumble then.
Not a fumble.
She's like, fuck, what the hell, man? God, stop touching the inside, the marrow of that broken bone. That hurt.
Listen, all right. I teach undergraduates human anatomy. I take a lot of bodies apart. I don't typically put them back together.
I can tell.
Well, at least Harold's guts aren't going to spill out on us.
Yeah.
No thanks to you. No,
Oh,
actually,
no
very
thanks
much
to
thank
me?
you. Very much thanks to you. Wait. Stay away from me with that needle.
All right. So, sounded like you guys had a plan you were wanting to try.
Yeah, it's kind of
All
a
right.
cockamamie plan, but it's the
I think
best we got. So
we have about 3/8 of a plan.
Okay. All right.
So we find a room on the ship, and if we ward all the exits and we have one entrance, we lure it inside.
Okay.
Um,
We've got a big
then if
stew
we use
pot,
those big stew pot,
Hmm.
something like a pressure cooker, so we can latch the lid on.
Yeah.
yep.
But we sigil all the edges of it up, or do we get it in first? I guess.
Except that a pressure cooker has a little hole in
Question.
the top where the steam comes out.
We can sigil it. We can
Yeah,
hammer a nail in it.
we already tried the situation. I mean, that's what happened in the anthropologist suite. We had all the doors sigiled, the one porthole, it came through, it did this to me. I mean, what are we going to do differently? It has these tentacles, it can just
Well,
stick in.
we weren't particularly prepared.
It's fair. Are you going to grab the tentacles and yank it?
Well, we did
No,
the,
if we use the little shield tactic,
Hmm.
like
and
if
we're
we
not
all
and we're not going to do an external room. We're going to do an internal room, so we don't have to worry about the portals.
Understandable.
Excellent. All right.
and then we need Goldie to not lock us in.
yeah, sorry
That's
about
true.
that, guys.
That's true.
I did kill the axe wielding maniac though, so
I appreciate that.
All right. So, you guys start putting out your sigils and all, and it's kind of like a little montage of you working on it like in those old 80s action movies and stuff.
Got the eye of the tiger.
That's right. Okay, so once you kind of have it set up, you've got your device you're going to hold it in, a pressure cooker and all. What is your plan to try and get it into this area?
Well, if that's where Michelle is broadcasting from,
Okay.
right? If we can wire it so that she can use a place to sing at that it'll wanna come and kill her in.
Hmm. Okay. All
Yeah, it
right.
does seem to want to, it seems to keep following us around trying to kill us.
Not to
Yeah.
be the bearer of bad news. I don't know how well Michelle is going to be able to sing, given the injury to her lung.
I'm not sure it matters that she's tonally exemplary as much as she's saying the right words. And she's got a lot more practice chanting that than the rest of us have. I mean, we should all do it, but she's got a lead.
yeah, I wonder if all of us singing it might increase the power of it.
I think so, yeah. I mean, again,
Okay.
they had a whole ritual in that dining room, right? Even though probably they could have just opened the damn jar. But these things like resonances and
Okay. All right. So you guys kind of get set up. Michelle's going to start kind of leading the chant. And who wants to join in? Okay. All right.
I'll try to croak it out.
Okay. Sounds good.
I mean, I think we all should try.
All
I
right.
don't know the spell because like I didn't learn it
Oh,
initially,
but
but I can.
you're not drawing the sigils though. You're just kind of
Okay.
chanting along with
Okay,
her.
yeah, I'll
Yeah.
I'll mumble along with it as best as I can. I'm also have my gun out, so I'm kind of more like kind of scoping out the situation too.
Yeah, we both reloaded, obviously, and etc.
Right. All right. So everyone that is chanting, either give me a arts and crafts singing if you have it, or a hard language English.
Mm. Mhm.
Oh, Gonna have to try that.
I got a 17 out of 55.
I got a 36 over 35. I'm going to spend 1 luck to make it a pass.
Okay, to make it a hard one.
Yeah, to make it a hard.
And
I could
likewise,
also spend. Go ahead.
I got a 29 over 27 for my hard, so I'm going to spend those two, obviously.
Okay.
Well, in my stream of incredible rolls, I have failed.
Okay. All right. If you pass, you lose 1d6 magic points. You spend 1d6 magic points. They will come back as magic points do. If you failed, it feels like it pulled more out of you, and you lose 1d12.
Ugh.
Remember, if you lose more magic points, it starts pulling hit points.
I'm aware.
Wait. So what is it if you?
So if you
They come out of
fail,
hit points.
So you roll 1d12, and
Uh,
if say you only had 8 magic points, you lose 4, and you rolled a 12, you lose 4 hit points to make up the difference.
Oh, dang. Okay. All right.
Rolled low on that. That's nice.
Nice.
Out of a 12-sided dice here. Okay, only a 2. All right.
All right. Oh, everyone just spent 2. I love it.
Oh, I spent fully
except for
5.
Except for
Yeah.
Harold. Yeah.
Singing is hard when your diaphragm is sort of scarred. It takes a lot out of
And
you.
when your jaw is half gone, too. Yeah.
Don't bust your
Wow.
stitches, Blackman.
Not as deep of a scene. Okay, all right. So you're kind of chanting along, and you start hearing the thing noisily coming down the hallway into kind of the funnel that you have. And when it comes through, it's in its full like angry thing. Whereas before, even though you felt like it was trying to kill you, you now realize that it was almost playing with you, like how a cat does with its prey and all. And so you guys can give me a sanity roll as you see you pissed it off.
And it's if you lose 1/5 of your sanity in one period of time, you're borked. Okay.
If you were to lose 5 points.
All right, I failed.
I passed.
Okay. A pass is 1d3.
Okay.
A fail is 1d8.
Oh God.
Oh my God, I lost 8.
I lost 8. Oh,
I lost 8 too.
Okay.
And that's indefinite insanity.
Oh, Goldie, you are. Does that push you to indefinite insanity, Goldie?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay. All righty.
Yeah.
It's a good thing I'm the one with the documents because I'm the only one with any hit points or sanity at this point.
Excellent.
I'm still okay.
Okay. All right.
Oh no, it's not indefinite insanity yet. Excuse me.
It's not indefinite, but it's
I just hit indefinite.
Okay, so you hit indefinite, and Goldie, because you were still in it was less than 10 hours since your last one. It's an automatic bout of madness there. Okay, both of you give yourself one more Cthulhu Mythos point for another bout of madness brought on by that, and roll a 1d10.
That's a 9.
5.
Okay. 5. Okay, so a 5 is a significant person for you, Dr. Harding. Goldie, you suddenly have a fear. You have I'm not even going to try and pronounce this phobia. A fear of being trapped.
Okay. Like claustrophobia?
Cleithropia. Cleithro phobia.
Okay. All right. Get me out of here. Get me out of here. Oh my God, it's going to trap me in here. I'm going to be trapped in here with it.
Okay.
Yeah,
Into the pod.
I don't know why it was that my wife accompanied me here.
Mhm.
Um,
But she is here. So your wife, she accompanied you here, and you feel that she is that they're using her as bait to get it into this container, and that's pretty shitty. Maybe that
yeah.
container shouldn't be there. All
It's going to
right,
contain
so
all of us. It's going to contain
okay,
all of us.
uh, Manfred, we'll go into Dex order here. So Manfred, you are up first. Burst in. It's coming at you, kind of just everywhere in there. You do got the container and all. How do you plan to try and what do you plan to do?
I we should have had a more thorough conversation before this happened. I'm gonna.
We tried.
I My expectation is that we had the prepared vessel in the middle of the space.
Okay. Yep.
Just around we're singing. I'm going to try to get around it so as to present firearms against it to force it in.
Okay.
So I guess that's going to be a dodge at first
Yep.
because it's
Mhm.
barreling in. X is 72. 52 is only a regular dodge.
Regular. Okay. All right. Yep. You dodged it.
All right. So yeah, I'm setting myself up on the outside uh to threaten it into the vessel with fire, but
Okay.
that's around, I'm sure.
Sounds good. All right. JJ.
I'm using my shield to try and push it towards the vessel.
Okay. Uh, give me a fighting brawl.
Ah, fail.
Okay. Didn't roll very well either, so kind of just feel it kind of
It was an
oozes
attempt. It
kind of
has.
away, but yep.
I'll make another attempt the next.
Yep. Yep. Harold.
We've already warded everything that can be warded already.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it's fully in the room.
Yeah.
Then I'd like to try to ward the entrance it came in by so that it's stuck in here with us.
The hatch.
Okay.
Yeah.
Uh, we'll say give me a power roll, so because like now you're trying to do it quickly, and you've got like it's
I'm in excruciating
screaming.
pain
Yeah,
the
you're
whole
in
time.
excruciating pain.
Yeah. 30 under 55 success.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. Dr. Harding.
What are you doing here?
Yeah. What's going on? I forgot. Excellent. And yeah.
Yeah, so I'm trying to lead her to safety.
Mm-hmm. All right. So you guys see Dr. Harding goes off around something that's not there. Okay. Excellent. And Goldie.
I'm trying to push past Harold to get out of the room.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
Get me out of here. You're going to try me in here with it.
Goldie, what are you doing? This was the plan.
I gotta
Okay.
get out. I gotta get out of here.
It is going to swing its tentacles. And who has the lowest luck?
I think me, right? 34.
33.
I still have all my 50 points of luck.
All right. So it's going to swing 2 tentacles at JJ and 1 tentacle at Harold. So JJ, it swings at you. You want to fight back or dodge?
Oh, okay. I thought we were doing luck.
No, this
I
is
will.
who it attacks. Is the luck.
I am going to try and block. So I guess fight back with
Okay.
the shield by hitting it where it's trying to hit me.
Okay. Sounds good. Not a good roll.
98.
Okay, yeah, not a good roll. All righty.
98 a fumble.
Uh, if you are below 50% on the skill you were testing, it is.
Wait, what was it? You
You're
mean if I'm
fighting.
below 50%?
So if your skill is 50% or below, a fumble is 96 to 100.
Well, it's a fumble then because I've only got 35 in.
Okay. Um, it smacks the ever-loving shit out of you.
Yeah. The guts, the blood.
Yeah. Yeah. Uh, 20 hit points.
20 points of damage.
Yeah. As you just go.
I think I'm splattered. Probably
Yeah.
at this
Pancaked against the wall.
And Harold, it's going to swing at you.
I'm going to try to tumble out into the. I mean, this will be a dodge, but I'm going to try to get out into the hallway where Goldie's going on the other
Okay.
side of the
All
wall.
right. Okay.
Let's see. How does that go? Ugh. Fail.
It missed, though. It missed
Okay.
on its swing.
If I
Okay.
trip and hit my head
Yeah.
or something.
What it did with the second tentacle is going to swing at JJ. You see it kind of grabs his body, and you see it just like sucking juices out of it. So you can see it kind of going through the tentacle and all as he starts to desiccate. And you see another tentacle start to grow out of it as it's doing that. Manfred, you are up. I think you're the only one.
How successful was it? Was Harold who was trying to put a sigil on the door
Yep.
to the outside?
Yep. He was successful. So
So
you
I'm gonna-
have it trapped in this room.
Yeah, and the only parties remaining inside are the spray of James JJ Jargon.
Yeah.
Has Gregory and his invisible friend come past? Or are they in there?
Which way did you go? Did you go out the door or maybe?
Yeah, I have to lead. I'm leading her
Yep.
to safety.
Okay. Yeah. There. Yeah. Yes, he has.
So yeah, the plan is to fire 2 shots at the center of it and kick the door closed.
All right.
If that can be done in an action.
Yep. Yep. Oh yeah. Yeah. So
I'm
even
in
though
there too, but I don't think that'll impact your decision.
Well, you tumbled past. Oh, you
Yeah,
didn't
you
get
said
out.
I failed to tumble.
Oh yeah. It missed, but he failed his dodge to kind of roll it out.
Right.
It's fine. It's fine. Shut me
I-
away with it.
I'm not probably thinking about that
Yeah.
under the circumstances. So, I mean, I rolled firearm successfully
Hmm.
and then unsuccessfully for what it's worth. And then
Okay.
kick the door.
Yeah.
Do I need a
Yep.
strength roll? Is it trying to punch its
Nope.
way out?
Nope. It wasn't even messing with the door, so kicking the door shuts. Easy when you do. Michelle on the other side, she starts doing another sigil over there, and she's like going, we gotta find a way to seal this so someone else won't open this door.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Mhm.
All the doors, in fact. And is this now is this the urn now, the whole room?
I think so. I don't want to try and
Yeah,
get that thing
if we
into
if we can
there.
find welding material, if we weld all the doors shut and we scuttle the ship,
I like it.
Right. So
yeah.
she starts working on that, and Harold, because it's one of those doors. Maybe they can lock it because they have those doors, so they kind of. So you're kind of like you dodge and you get up and you're like going, okay, I'm gonna get, and you see the door is slammed shut.
Oh, yeah.
And we'll say the last thing you think before it slams this tentacle into the back of your head is like those. What is the last thought you have before you get?
It's an honor to go down with the ship.
That's right. As
couldn't
a
have thought
good
of a better way to
tugboat
go.
captain would
Tugboat
think.
captain.
Yeah.
You give yourself a good salute, and then your
through
face
the
is just
porthole to them.
splattered there. And so as Michelle kind of does that, and strangely, now that it's kind of trapped, the storm starts almost very quickly calming.
Mhm. I can see a star.
Hmm.
Uh,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, let's see if
So let's go down to the engine room.
Okay.
Let's see, something that we can just weld all these doors shut.
All right. So that'll be no issue. Make it down there, and it's a ship, so there's
Watch your step,
welding.
dear.
Yes. So we'll say that you get the welding gear. The guys down there, if none of you have the skill to weld, they're experienced seamen. They know how to weld, and so they'll be like, sure, yeah, we'll weld that shut.
Just like
And
all shook, like covered
yeah,
in blood, and like
yeah, he's like, oh, something went really wrong.
yeah, try
I'm
not
like
to look.
gasping for air.
Don't look in the windows too much. Uh, the reason the storm is calmed is because of what's inside that room. And if we seal it up and sink it forever, it'll do man no harm.
It's trapped. It's trapped. They got it. It's trapped,
Okay.
just like we were about to be trapped in there.
It's like going, well, this ship's going to go down. As it's taking on more water, the stress is starting to pull that crack in the ship from the explosion. So I think if we just get out of here, with some lifeboats out there, and there's the storm's calm. So yeah,
Yeah.
make it. Where's the others? Where's
This
Harold?
Harold succumbed to injuries, and so did Jargon. The axe wielding maniac. Well, you can see what he did to Miss O'Shaughnessy.
Oh,
Uh, yeah. So yeah, if we can help her into lifeboats, I'll Harding. Maybe you and your friend can help me, or actually, no, Foggy Bottom guys can operate the radio
yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
transmit our location. I'll start lowering, since I have both arms working, we'll start lowering lifeboats.
All right.
Yeah, and then we want the ship to sink, yes?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it's sinking.
Okay, it is sinking. Okay.
Yeah, and now if you want to sink it quicker, you could easily rig one of the things to blow up, but it's going to sink on its own because as more and more water is getting in there, that stress on that crack is going to just get more and more and more
Okay.
until it finally.
Yeah, just let it sink beneath the waves.
If we don't maintain the generators, the pumps will stop working too, and
Yep.
it's a damned thing.
Mhm.
The champagne's going down, and with it, uh, a great evil. With two more loose in the world.
They kind of look at you when you say that, but they're ready to get out of here because like they've seen dead bodies everywhere, and
Yeah, I don't think great evil's a hard sell at this point.
no,
Yeah.
they're just like, let's go. So you guys lower the the boats, and you get on in, and you kind of as you're rowing away on the lifeboats, you see the champagne. It kind of tilts up and starts going down, and the captain, she starts counting down. She's like, going, going. Good riddance to you, champagne. Wish I could have salvaged you, but it wasn't worth it. Wasn't going to happen. And you see it kind of disappears underneath the briny sea.
There'll be some things floating off of that to feed the local populations for some time.
Right. Excellent. Um, in a few hours, a ship comes and it finds you out there because they had made the call. You get picked up, you get brought back to Boston Harbor and everything. Uh, this seems like a good place to stop.
Okay.
And
Our players included Troy Wheeldryer, Preston Firestone, Morgan Llewellyn, David Gasway, and myself with Keith Craig as the Keeper of Arcane Lore. We have a Discord server where you can chat with other members, you can set up private games, and you can learn the finer arts of gameplay and game mastering. We provide audio-only versions of our shows free for you to download from Spotify, Podbean, or iTunes. Support for the show is provided by our patrons who are listed in the closing credits. If you'd like to show us your appreciation, please visit our Patreon page, or you can use the thanks button just below the screen. Like, share, and subscribe to our channel and punch the bell icon for updates on our latest shows. And leave us some comments. We enjoy reading them and answer any questions you might have. This is Thom Raley, together with all the members of our gaming club, inviting you to journey with us once again into the darkness for another adventure into the universe of H.P. Lovecraft and the Call of Cthulhu role-playing game. Until next time, good luck and good gaming.